Guys, what's going on? Welcome to another collection tour. This is the third movie collection tour, the Serial at Midnight Film Archives. We're going to be tackling the shelf directly behind me that you see in every video. Thundercat. What if I just do it from here? Thundercats Volume 1, 2, 3, 4. The Real Ghostbusters. One Up Mushroom, Nightcrawler. Okay, we're gonna go back here and tackle these shelves. So let's move. Everyone move to the back. Dum 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 dum. Okay, up on the top, we always like to keep stuff on the top of these shelves. It's kind of a mess. Taz. So my daughter made me these. Anytime you see one of these, perler bead. Hold on. Oh crap. All right. Well, my daughter makes me these. She used to. I think she's over it now. I think it's not cool anymore. You know what? We got to move these anyway for the Disney Treasures tins. This is some Disney run over the Disney shelf. Like these are Disney releases, and those over there. We'll get to those later. We have, let's see, this is Breeze Funko Share from Clueless. We have West Side Story, a documentary about Tolkien, the 2-movie Fantastic Four collection. Sorry Not Sorry. So okay. Spoilers for a future video. Have a Mickey compilation. The Adventures of Merlin Jones. Merlin Jones sounds like a rapper to me. Merlin Jones. Merlin Jones. Okay. My bootleg copy of Song of the South, which is really just like I burned it to a DVD and printed out a UK cover for it. Winnie the Pooh. This is the DVD Blu-ray combo pack. Not the Blu-ray DVD combo pack, so it's in a DVD case. It kind of bothers me. Meet the Robinsons, which I love. I believe that's on DVD. I'm sorry, Blu-ray around here somewhere, so that's redundant. Summer Magic, a movie that's not talked about enough. It's got Burl Ives, Haley Mills. There's a song in here, I think it's called The Ugly Bug Ball. Anyway, it's a really cool movie. Oh, fun fact. Trying to remember what Josh Papa, what is his name? If you go to Main Street USA at Walt Disney World and you go to the Emporium, outside the Emporium, it says that the proprietor of the shop is this character's name. So it's a little Easter egg for those of us who are familiar with Summer Magic. Have the first season of the Mickey Mouse tunes. I love these. These come on the Disney Channel on YouTube. This is the only chance we've ever had to buy them. I think they're on like season 3 or 4 now. We love them. They're irreverent. They're not super sacred. They're not overly sweet. They're a little bit like SpongeBob. They're kind of anarchic, the way the cartoons started all those years ago. Dumbo. I think this is on Blu-ray as well. Or is this our combo? Yeah, that's our DVD Blu-ray combo pack. Thrills and Chills. Kurt Russell. This is one of the best compilations Disney's ever done. The Herbie Movies. Don Knotts. I'm so tempted to do a Don Knotts impression, but as you know, I film these early in the morning, and I just don't think it's there yet. I just don't think it's where it would need to be. Well, you see here, what we have is 4 movies. Yeah, there's 4 of them. They're pretty good. I take my movie making very seriously. No, it's not there. DVD of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The DVD of Freaky Friday, which I believe... I think I bought that on Blu-ray. Disney Movie Club exclusive. Okay, let's get into the tins. Mickey Mouse in Living Color. Whoa. Mickey Mouse Club. Mickey Mouse in black and white. Oh, hold on. Oh, heck no. Okay. Mickey Mouse in Black and White. Right there. Mickey Mouse in Black and White Volume 2. Put that right there. Mickey Mouse in Living Color Volume 2. Ding dang. You guys watch the Tim Tracker? Ding dang. Oh no. Ding dang. Mickey Mouse. Okay. Chronological Donald Volume 1. It's the only Chronological Donald that I have. Oh. Okay, never mind. Chronological Donald Volume Dos. Walt Disney on the Front Lines. This is the one that I scored from a thrift store for like $3.99 or something like that. It was like, what? And this is my favorite, actually, of the whole bunch. It's the Tomorrowland collection because I love space. And I love Disney's involvement of the space program and like educating people and all that stuff. And then there's a lot of stuff here about like the development of Epcot and Tomorrowland, like all the stuff in the parks. Love this stuff. TerrorVision and the Video Dead Shout Factory 2-pack. Q, the Winged Serpent. The Hunger Games. Here's a fun fact. Bree read the Hunger Games novels and liked them. We bought the first movie. We were like, it's okay. We bought the second movie and did not watch it. So we stopped. We don't have any of the other Hunger Games movies. Unforgiven, classic. Kingdom of Heaven, the director's cut. I like this movie. I think this is one of those... Sorry for all the shaking. I'm holding the camera above my head, so it's a little... It's just... I can't hold it. I don't know. I saw this in the theater. I liked it at the time. I still like it. Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze, next to the 2-disc Shout Select special edition version. Well, it's not a special edition version, but it is a new remaster. They did a new transfer for it. The Grand Duel and Keoma, one good spaghetti western, one interesting spaghetti western. Clockwork Orange, Crazy Heart, or as I like to call it, Tender Mercies Part 2. This is basically a remake of Tender Mercies with you guys, Robert, the guy from The Godfather, Hagen from Godfather, everybody's screaming it. You know who I'm talking about. I said it was early, right? It'll come to me later. In fact, is he in this movie? He's in this movie. This guy. What is his name? Why can I not think of his name? Robert Duvall. Good Lord. Robert Duvall was in a movie called Tender Mercies, and Crazy Heart is almost a remake. Okay, School of Rock. True Grit. Everybody likes True Grit, right? Crank. King's Speech. Definitely not the best movie of that year that it came out, but the one that got the most attention. License to License to Kill. License to Drive with the Coreys. Rest in peace, Corey Haim. The Ninth Gate. The Proposition. An Australian Western, I believe. It's been a while since this has been sitting here for a while, but I believe this is Australian. Yeah. 10 Things I Hate About You. Brie loves this movie. I like this movie. Rest in peace, Heath Ledger. Oh, I'm just going to have to do this. Every time we see a dead person, we're going to be like, oh, rest in peace. The Fast and the Furious 1 through 4, 5, 6, 7 is around here somewhere. Maybe he isn't in a past video. Whoa, Strange Brew. I love Strange Brew. Smarter than anybody would give it credit for. Strange Brew is a loose retelling of Hamlet. Believe it or not, it actually is a loose retelling of Hamlet. If you look at the plot, you look at the names, they're using some high material as their basis there. The original Django with Franco Nero. This is a fantastic movie. V for Vendetta. Goodfellas on Blu-ray. I won't say, I like Goodfellas. I think that it gets praised perhaps too much. People name this as like one of the best movies ever made, and I don't think it's remotely close to that. But I like it. I think that it's got some good performances in there. I'm always protecting my opinions because I'm just not sure how much to say. I think that Scorsese spends far too much of his creative energy focusing on terrible people, and he's capable of telling really triumphant stories, but he rarely does it. And I want to see him tell more uplifting stories mixed in with the gritty, horrible people. And that's what it is. I used to not feel that way. As I've gotten older, that's kind of how I feel. X-Men 1 through 3, X-Men trilogy. So yeah, I did this. So we have these, and then we have the exact same movies again because these came with a digital copy. I wouldn't do that now, but I did it then. X-Men First Class. Oh no. Hold on. I'm going to try to pick this up. Okay. All right. Share fell down. Okay. X-Men Days of Future Past, which I think is maybe a high point for the sequels. X-Men Apocalypse, which is stinky. Deadpool, nothing needs to be said about that. X-Men Origins, Wolverine, the other Wolverine movie, The Wolverine, which is a good movie until the last act, and then I think it all falls apart. Elektra, which I like. Daredevil, Director's Cut, which I like. The Doors, The Crow, which the last time I tried to watch The Crow, I turned off. I just like, I can't do this. So, I don't know, it may have just been a bad mood at the time. Maybe I wasn't in the mood to watch that. I'm not sure. I haven't tried to watch it since then. The Punisher. This is the Thomas Jane version, which I like. There's a unrated extended cut that I have on DVD around here somewhere. Dumb and Dumber, the unrated cut, which I wish we had the theatrical cut of this on Blu-ray, but we do not. Teen Wolf, I do not have Teen Wolf 2. The Burbs, Joe Dante having a lot of fun. Glee, the second season. We have seasons 1 and 2. We were into that show for a hot minute, and then we just kind of faded away on it. Troy. I like Troy. I like Hercules. First Night with Sean Connery. Billy Madison. Notting Hill. The Mission Impossible 1 through 3 box set, I believe. Yeah, the Extreme Blu-ray trilogy. So that's 1 through 3. Layer Cake, Wanted, and Enemy at the Gates. Okay, then we move down to what is kind of an animation shelf. These are our Comic-Con badges. So we have our Masters of the Universe collections. I had these flipped around for the mural for like the first year and a half of the channel, and then I was like, you know what, let's get some color up in here. So I flipped it around, and now it's the color. You know, I just like the bright colors, and they look good on camera too. So these are not in order. I just see that season 1. Dang it, Heath! Idiot! God! All right. Put these right here. And these are going to have to make room because as I'm recording this video, we are days away from the release of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the complete series on DVD. And you better believe I'm going to be rebuying that to vote. Number 1, to vote with my dollars. Number 2, so I have redundant copies of these shows should anything ever happen. Because these are coming up on... When did these come out? I'm going to say like 2003, maybe? I don't see a year. Do you guys see a year? I just see the 80s. It was a long time ago. New Adventures of He-Man. These cost me an arm and a leg because I bought them on the aftermarket after they'd gone out of print. And Volume 2, it's dusty. Volume 2 is pretty beat up. I actually had to have one of the discs resurfaced. Good times. She-Ra, Season 1, Volume 1, Season 1, Volume 2, Season 2. And these, as well, are also getting re-released on the same day as He-Man, with a lot of the same extras. We're going to talk about all that on the channel. By the time this is up, you guys may even have already seen a video talking about these new re-releases. If you're not versed on those and you're watching this in 2026, do a search for He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and I bet there's a video talking about those new releases. This is the Mill Creek version of Season 1, because my original Season 1, Volume 1 has circular scratches. The plastic trays that BCI Eclipse used had... So it's a tray, and it's flat where the disc goes. It's flat. But then there's this little nub right here where they separated it from the, I guess from the mold. And this little plastic nub is sticking up, and as the discs sit in the package, they rotate, and they rub against that nub. And they have scratches. And this was a problem with the first pressings of this volume when they first came out. And they reissued them, but it was too late for me. I didn't know about it at that point. But after doing research years later, I find out like they knew about the problem, they fixed the problem, but I didn't know about the problem. So I'm stuck with these. Not all the discs are scratched, but a couple of them are. So I picked up the complete Season 1 from Mill Creek. So I would have, again, redundant copies, and I could watch, watch the shows Now I'm going to buy them again. So this is the BCI Eclipse, the best of. One of the things worth mentioning, I don't know if these are going to be on the re-releases, but there's running special features across all of these. Documentaries with, say, like the creators, the writers, the animators, like people who are involved in these. There's a continuing documentary across all pieces of this, and it continued into these. So 2 brand new documentary features, 70 minutes of documentary features. They also had these art cards. Every one of these sets has the art cards intact. I've actually talked about, Bree and I have talked about maybe combining them into some sort of a mural poster, thing and putting them up somewhere, but I don't know. Best of She-Ra, same story. The documentaries continue on to here. This was also the only way to get the film cut of the Secret of the Sword. So the first 5 episodes, of course, of She-Ra, like they would do back in the day, you'd have 5 episodes that would launch your series, and then sometimes they would edit those 5 episodes together into like an hour and 40 minutes and release that theatrically. And this is the theatrical cut of those episodes combined into one movie with the bonus features. And then what has come to be a really prized possession is the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special, the original BCI version. This has been re-released as well, but this is the original BCI. Focus. It's not going to focus. There we go. The BCI version. More art cards, more documentary stuff. So very cool. I'm happy to have all these. I have the volumes of the Mike Young Productions 2000X version of the series. This one had a replacement disc program, so this, as you can see, this case is a little bit bulging because I have the original and the replacement disc in there. This is volume 2. Oh, let's flip this around. Sorry. And then volume 3. And these, of course, have been re-released as well. I think Mill Creek may still have the right to these, but I'm not sure. Best of Bravestar. Again, the only way to get the Bravestar the Legend, the feature film that kicked off the whole thing. Some fantastic Funimation animation. They do the same thing here. You can kind of tell they're doing the documentary thing. And then Mill Creek, ooh, almost dropped it. Mill Creek released the complete series, which I had to grab. Because the original pressings of this were out of print. By the time I came around to it, they were gone. So but I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with these Mill Creek versions. Jason the Wheeled Warriors. We've talked about most of all of this stuff on our 80s cartoons video, but this is part 1 of Jason the Wheeled Warriors. One of the best theme songs in the history of Saturday morning cartoons. It's like, Wheeled Warriors. It's kind of like Dokken. Not Dream Warriors, Wheeled Warriors. Cops, Fighting Crime in a Future Time. Fighting Crime in a Future Time. Cops Volume 1, Cops Volume 2. Here's our Ninja Turtles collection of this is the Nickelodeon series. We didn't get very far. We were buying these on DVD. I wish they just released like a comprehensive box set of these. Ooh, the yeah. Whoa. Drop the camera. The Michael Bay produced Ninja Turtles movie, which yeah. Sometimes you do things just for completionist sake, and I have to say that's one of the reasons. Like, we bought both of those on a Black Friday for like $4 or something crazy like that, and I watched them with my daughter, and we were just like, yeah. Do like this one though. This is an earlier attempt at a movie. I'm gonna say 2004. Do you guys see a date? Oh, why do I do these? 2007. That's later than I thought. The original trilogy on Blu-ray. Here's my G.I. Joe collection. These represent the complete Sunbow G.I. Joe episodes. I don't know what's up with this. I don't remember where this came from. This is just a random volume. Season 1.3. Maybe there was a disc replacement for this as well. It's been so long, it's been so many years, I can't remember. This has clearly been damaged. It's bent right here. The discs are fine, but this is the Sunbow stuff. So, Season 1, Volume 1, Season 1, Volume 2, Season 2, Volume 1, oh no, Season 1, Volume 3, and then Season 2.0. And then these are, hold on, yeah, Series 2, Season 1, and Series 2, Season 2. These are the episodes produced by DiC. If you remember, one of the most unfortunately named companies in the history of production. Why you would name your company DIC and have a kid at the end of every video or every episode go DiC? Not a great idea, guys. Not good planning. Just saying. Not good forethought. But I enjoyed these episodes. I watched them at the time. This is when we had the gold helmet Destro. They brought in all the ninjas. If you were there and you remember it, the mechanical Cobra Commander helmet. I dig it. I'm into it. Have a couple of copies. I think this came with a toy. So this is the Revenge of Cobra, which is included in these. This has the first 2 miniseries. This is the Mass Device and the Revenge of Cobra, the 2 5-episode miniseries that kicked off G.I. Joe before it went into syndication. And that must have come with a toy. I think that's what it was. Is it came with some action figures as a bonus. So I kept it. G.I. Joe Resolute, which was like, this ain't your daddy's G.I. Joe. This is gritty G.I. Joe. And it's fun. I like it. I think this was a movie, like a 45-minute kind of a thing. 58 minutes. And it was basically like G.I. Joe for 20-somethings. We had all, came out in the early 2000s, early to mid-2000s, and it was kind of like, it had grown up with us. It was the people who had... people our age who kind of inherited jobs in the animation industry, and they were like, let's do G.I. Joe, but like for us. And it's cool. I don't love it. I might prefer the Sunbow stuff, but it's cool. Transformers, first season. You guys can see that, hopefully. Season 2, Volume 1. Season 2, Volume 2. And then seasons 3 and 4. So that's the complete Transformers. Then we have Transformers the movie. We have the Blu-ray as well. We have this movie on Blu-ray. The Steelbook Blu-ray from Shout Factory. Big Transformers fans. Voltron Lion Force, Part 1 and Part 2. These are the re-release versions. I originally had, is those of you who have been longtime OG geeks. I gotta change hands here. Hands falling asleep, holding the camera. Those of you who've been in the air, in the geekosphere for a long time will remember that these came out originally in these 10 sets. There's the Blue Lion set, the Black Lion, the Red Lion. All the lions were in metal sets. And they were, I think there were 2-disc sets. I think there were 3, actually. But those went out of print because I guess metal production costs were just too expensive. So these got reissued in... these big multi-packs. They're just stacked on a spindle. But I picked them up. I had the metal sets when they came out, but I sold them because these came out when I was in my early 20s. And when I was in my early 20s, hey, even now sometimes, like finances get tough, things happen, and you're like, what do I have that has some equity? And I sold my metal Lion sets. But of course now, the entire Voltron series has been re-released as well. Probably a video about that because we bought it. It includes the Fleet of Doom, which is the Voltron movie. That kind of ties things up. It's got both the Lion Force Voltron and the Vehicle Voltron robots in it. Synergy. Here's our Real Ghostbusters box set from Time Life. Love this. If you want a closer look at this, we did do a closer look in the 80s cartoons episode. I may do a Halloween spotlight on this series. I may. Just depends. Here's our Thundercats collection, Season 1, Volume 1, 2 Volume 1, 2 Volume 2. Love Thundercats. That's been re-released as well. I have not picked it up because it's a little bit, it's like $70 everywhere I see it, but I don't know. I probably will grab that again as well, just for, because I'm anal. Because I'm an anal collector. I'm not an anal collector. I don't collect anuses. But I have I have only child ADD and only child OCDs. So Transformers Armada, the complete series, which was followed by Transformers Energon, which is downstairs because it was being viewed. And then Transformers Cybertron completed the entire series. Why aren't these next to the other Transformers cartoons? It's a good question. It's a really good question. Batman Under the Red Hood. I like it. Justice League Doom. I like it. Batman Year One. Yeah, it's pretty good. The Concert for Bangladesh. This is pretty cool. George Harrison and friends. We've got Eric Clapton, Bob Dylan, Ravi Shankar, Billy Preston, Ringo, and Klaus Vormann. I'll play whatever you want me to play, or I won't play anything at all. Just tell me, and I'll do it. Whatever makes you happy, whatever will please you. It's a quote from Let It Be, the Let It Be sessions. The Beatles 1, this is the deluxe edition with 2 Blu-rays and a CD. It's got all the songs from 1 on a CD, which, big deal. But having the videos, this features all the films, what we would now consider to be videos, the music videos that they would release to shows like the Ed Sullivan Show or things like that, so that they could we can't be there in person. Now I'll do, John. We can't be there in person, but we'd like to send you these films so you can see what we've been up to in the studios. And then Paul would be like, yeah, it's a shame we can't be there, but hopefully, you'll enjoy the songs and you'll enjoy the music. And then Ringo would just be like, I can't hear myself play. We have A Hard Day's Night, the Criterion version of A Hard Day's Night, which is a legendary movie. We have Help on Blu-ray. This is the Beatles section. We have Magical Mystery Tour on Blu-ray. We have Yellow Submarine on Blu-ray. And then Green Lantern, the extended cut, because of course, that needs to go right there next to it. Godzilla, Criterion Collection. This is the Godzilla. Who put this out? Let's see. Do you guys remember who put this out? Vivendi Entertainment. This is out of print now. I was stunned that this went out of print. This is going for some bank. And of course, now that Criterion is releasing all of these movies on Blu-ray, this will be probably worthless in the future. Not that I bought it for value. I bought it to watch Godzilla movies. Of course, all of these are covered in our Godzilla Icons of Horror video. Godzilla vs. Gigan. Ebirah, Horror of the Deep. Godzilla vs. Hedorah. And the Return of Godzilla. Followed by Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Godzilla and Mothra the... I'm not going to read these. Jesus. Am I even holding the camera on the screen? I'm like trying to figure these titles out, and then I look at the camera and it's just like it's pointing at my feet. Destroyer. Glare. So that's the Godzilla collection. Oh no, we're not done. The movie, we don't have the second movie, the sequel movie, the King of the Monsters movie yet. Okay, this is great. King Kong versus Godzilla. And I also think this is great. It is exactly what it looks like. It is campy 60s men in suits, and I love it. I love everything about it. The Gamera movies, Volume 1. This is from Mill Creek, the first 4 movies of the Gamera cycle. And then the second 4 movies of the Gamera cycle in HD. From the good people at Mill Creek Entertainment. The Universal Monsters, this is the original Blu-ray pressings of the UK version. I bought the UK version because they were significantly cheaper, and they came with these postcards, which I think we talked about these in a video. If we haven't, let me know and we'll do a spotlight on them at some point, but I think we've broken those down. The complete Frankenstein on Blu-ray, the complete Dracula Blu-ray, Wolfman Blu-ray, and the complete Mummy. The only thing that's not here represented is the Creature from the Black Lagoon, because there's an Invisible Man set too. I think it's still downstairs because I was watching them, and it's been sitting there since the previous Halloween. When was that? As the recording of this video? Well, I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, we're just days away from October, and it's been there since the last October or whenever it came out. But the Creature from the Black Lagoon is not here as well because they had some problems with those discs, and I'm still not sure that they've been worked out because people will buy them, supposedly the fixed versions, and they're like, no, this is the incorrect disc. So Amazon and similar companies still do not seem to be able to know or to advertise. I don't think they've gotten rid of the bad stock yet. I think the bad stock is still in circulation, so I have held off. If I want to watch the original Creature from the Black Lagoon, it's in this set. The Vincent Price collection, including this, the highly sought after out of print Vincent Price collection volume 1. This is my favorite of the entire set, as covered in a Vincent Price icons of horror video. It's got the Poe, mini films from the Poe cycle. And hold up, that is incorrect. This is the one. It's got The Last Man on Earth and The House on Haunted Hill. Those are my two favorites, I think. Anyway. And then Volume 3. Would have been cool if there would have been a Volume 4, but at this point, I don't think that it's going to happen. I think that Shout Factory has released everything that they can get. They're re-releasing The Fly, but House of Wax is great. These are my first DVD editions of Hammer movies. Dracula was, I'm not going to read them all. You guys can see. These are Hammer movies that Warner Brothers owns. Some of these have been re-released on Blu-ray from Warner Brothers, but not all of them. Actually, I'm looking at these. I think they actually all have at this point. So I don't have them all yet, though. And these, let me show you the cover. So, I mean, I'm not going to get rid of this. This box set is special to me. It's my special boy. The Mummy Ultimate Collection Steelbook. Those are not 4Ks. Those are just Blu-rays. Just regular Blu-rays. Muppet Show Volume 1 or Season 1, Muppet Show Season 2, and the Muppet Show Season 3. If they would ever put out 4 and 5, I'd be on it like white on rice. I'd be all over those if they would just sort out, I guess it's the music rights that have things locked up. And the celebrity guests and stuff, I guess it costs money, and physical media doesn't sell as much as it used to, so I don't know that it's in the cards. Texas Rangers and Dead Man. Oh, this is vaguely embarrassing. Petra was a Christian rock band in the 80s, and this is a documentary and a concert of the 80s iteration of that band. Next to Good to See You Again, Alice Cooper. Open Range, starring that guy whose name I couldn't remember, Robert Duvall. This is a fantastic Western. I need to upgrade this at some point. Actually, you know what? I don't think this has a Blu-ray. Now, as I'm saying this, I could be wrong, but I don't think that Open Range has ever had a Blu-ray release. This is a fantastic Western. Absolutely stunning Western. You know what? It's going to make an appearance in a Western Spotlight. Dark Night of the Scarecrow, The Monster Squad. I have two versions of this movie. This is the bare bones Olive Films version of The Monster Squad. Random Full House disc. This needs to be in the Full House Complete Series collection. Whoops. Blackula and Scream, Blackula, Scream. Stargate the movie. Wonder Woman, the movie, which I think is okay, but not great. Shocker. Just throwing things on the ground. Joyride. Candy Cane. Candy Cane. Alright. I dropped You're Next, which I adore. I love You're Next. One of my favorite horror movies. AC/DC, Plug Me In. Jason and the Argonauts and Merlin. This came from a thrift store. It's two made-for-TV miniseries. The Sweetest Thing, Cameron Diaz, Christina Applegate, and Selma Blair. I like all three of those people to varying degrees. The Net, Sandy B. The Bounty, Mel Gibson, Anthony Hopkins. River's Edge with Keanu Reeves. Crispin Glover, Keanu, and Dennis Hopper. That's a very... for a long time, it flew under the radar. It's now seeming to get some love and respect. Aspen Extreme, thrift store purchase. Yeah, let's just start here. Supergirl, the complete second season. Season 1 and 3 are elsewhere. Arrow, complete first and second season, out of order. Gotham, complete first and third. The second one is somewhere else. Yeah, I know. Guys, I know. I look at this. I don't do any prep work for these. There's no time for prep work. But I understand. It bothers me too. The Neverending Story. Cloverfield, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Definitely, maybe. I actually really like this movie. Without getting too... No, I'm just going to say this has really... It's a really good story about like divorce and second chances and moving on. And I like it. The I Know What You Did Last Summer trilogy. Ash vs. the Evil Dead, the complete first season. I've only seen the first season. Here's all the versions of Evil Dead. We have the remake. We have Evil Dead, the first movie, which I've since bought on 4K. We have Evil Dead 2. This is the version on Blu-ray that I don't think people don't want. There's something wrong with this disc. I can't remember what it is. And Army of Darkness. Dark Ride is one of those 8 films to die for from the After Dark Horror Fest circa Mid 2000s, I like Dark Ride, I think, the best. It's a really cool movie. House of a Thousand Corpses, I have the DVD and the Blu-ray. So probably take the DVD and put it somewhere else. You know, I think I've got maybe I don't have the DVD and Blu-ray. Or the Blu-ray. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, I have the DVD. Frozen, I have the DVD. The Super Duper Alice Cooper. You guys know I love Alice Cooper. This is the fantastic documentary. I think this might be out of print now, but it is a documentary about basically all the way up to his redemption in the mid 80s with Constrictor, going up all the way through like Flush to Fashion, Dada, all that stuff, when he was so heavily dependent on alcohol and substances that he almost died. And he was like vomiting blood and stuff like that. And it's basically his redemption story from the conception of the character, the original band, all the way through the mid 80s. It's fantastic. His name was Jason, and today's his birthday. We're going backwards. I'm going to squat here. Let's see. Here's, let's see, Crystal Lake Memories, Friday the 13th, the remake, Freddy vs. Jason, Jason Goes to Hell, and then Jason X, Jason 10. I don't know where Friday the 13th, I have the 1 through 8 Blu-ray box set. That's probably down on the shelf because I was watching them. Never Sleep Again, the Elm Street documentary. Hatchet, I only have the first Hatchet. Here's my Hammer Horror, another Hammer Horror box set. This is a great collection. Some really good movies in here. None of the franchise movies, I don't think. I don't think they have... Well, they got The Evil of Frankenstein and Brides of Dracula. Just random... just random... so this is Universal, and Warner Brothers has the bulk of those. Universal got some of them, and so I guess they just released what they had, what they could. Encino Man, which I actually love. This is some... The Home Mechanics Guide to Power and Performance from Hot Rod Magazine. I had a subscription to Hot Rod Magazine at some point, and that came with it. Madagascar 1, 2, and 3. Those are for the kid. Queen, Days of Our Lives. Now listen, everybody was talking about Bohemian Rhapsody. Here, I'm blocking my light. Everybody was talking about Bohemian Rhapsody, but if you want the story of Queen by Queen, Queen, Days of Our Lives is a fantastic documentary from the people who were there. Of course, Freddie is gone, but there's lots of archival interviews with him, and it's every other member of the band talking about what it was like to be Queen. Very honest, warts and all, really good stuff. Motley Crue on Blu-ray, live. Criterion Collection, Robin Crusoe on Mars. My Fair Lady on DVD. Guys, I'm doing the best I can. I have very limited space here. This is the tightest area of the whole collection. The Munsters, Season 1 and Season 2, so that's the whole collection. Poltergeist on DVD. The Puppet Master Collection. Plus I've never watched any of the Killjoy movies, but I do like Puppet Master. Well, some of them. Karloff and Lugosi, horror classics. These are Frankenstein 1970s good. Zombies on Broadway. These are just fun. Oh, man. The Shining. Nothing needs to be said about The Shining. The Wolfman, the Benicio del Toro version of The Wolfman. I like it. I like that movie. And Sleepy Hollow, I have a huge affection for this movie as well. I have X-Men, the animated series, Volume 1 and Volume 2. That's all I have. Horrors of the Black Museum is a cool horror movie starring Michael Goff, who is Alfred in the Batman movies, the Tim Burton Batman movies. Here's the Boris Karloff Collection, the DVD version of the Boris Karloff Collection. Turner Classic Movies Horror. I think I have all of these on other formats now, but Freaks is a great one. Todd Browning's Freaks, the director of Dracula. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, The House of Wax. Yeah, these are good. The Jurassic Park Ultimate Trilogy, so that's when there were only 3 movies. Goonies, Gremlins, and Gremlins 2. Addams Family, which I don't... Here, I have the duology of the DVD. I don't love the Addams Family movies, but I know some people do. Casper, same thing. I don't love them. Monster House. I think Casper was for my daughter. I don't think she loves it either. The Conjuring. Laura. Fantastic film noir from Fox. Vincent Price is in this. If you haven't seen Laura, it's pretty good. Johnny Cash, the anthology. It's a documentary about Johnny. The House That Dripped Blood is a cool Amicus movie with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. Sorry, guys, I'm doing my best here. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World Steelbook Night School from Warner Archive, starring Rachel Ward. This is... No, there we go. It's a really good giallo type movie. Gravity, which I actually really do enjoy. The Captain's Table, the Rank Collection. Man, these movies are rank. These are from VCI Eclipse. I took a chance on some of these. I haven't watched all of them yet. Here's our Rocky collection, Lethal Weapon collection. Love Great Expectations. I don't think this has a Blu-ray, but it might. It probably does. But I do love this movie. Great soundtrack too. Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. The American with George Clooney. Gone Baby Gone. Gone Baby Gone is still sealed, even though I think I've seen it. Deliverance. The Nice Guys. Gator Bait. This is for all you cult and exploitation films fans. Claudia Jennings. Good stuff. Dokken, Unchain the Night. Back in Time, documentary about Back to the Future. Love and Mercy, the Brian Wilson movie. One in the Chamber, which is a Dolph Lundgren movie. Fast Lane, the complete series. I think I picked that up at a thrift store if memory serves. Fury, the tank movie with Brad Pitt. The Long Riders, and then of course our complete collection of The Wonder Years, which is everybody loves The Wonder Years, right? Okay, Peter Pan, the movie. There we go. The Chipmunks, the Squeakquel. They should be with all three of them. We bought those for my daughter when she was younger. I don't know where the other two. They're probably around here. Oz the Great and Powerful. Again, that's another one. That was she really liked that movie. Machete Kills. We also have Machete. Prince of Egypt. Mad About Men. Now, these are old movies. This is another one from the Rank collection, as well as Miranda. These are, I believe these are sequel, like a movie and their sequel. So Miranda's a mermaid, so this is going to be the sequel, I believe. But so this is Glynis Johns. This is the mom in Mary Poppins as a sexy, seductive mermaid. So it's interesting, right? These are curiosities you will only find at Serial at Midnight. Summer School. Kindred, the Embraced. I've always had an appreciation for that series. I've had that DVD since like the early 2000s. It's the Michael Jackson collection. I know we're not supposed to talk about the Michael Jackson collection or his work or anything like that, but those are all his videos. This is a concert. What is this concert? Live at Wembley, 1988. I have Moonwalker on Blu-ray. It's imported. Here's the Godfather trilogy. Oh, Sonny. Shiny, my boy. It's not on point today. Straw Dogs, Fight Club. I have things to say about Fight Club that I might get around to one day. People watch Fight Club like it's a morality tale. I feel like Fight Club makes it kind of explicit that the guy's crazy and he's having a psychotic break, and that it's not necessarily a role model film. But I feel like a lot of college students watch this movie and they're like, yeah, man, tear down the patriarchy, just smash the establishment. I don't necessarily feel like the movie is advocating the story that we see. I feel like it's kind of a criticism of it, but what do I know? Gran Torino. Not that I'm... Look, I'm more anti-establishment than many people you will find. So I'm not like, yeah, I love corporate America and big banks and all that stuff. The big man. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying like people take like... Fight Club seems to deeply resonate with people as like a hero story. I don't know that that was the intention, but maybe it's vague enough that you can make up your own mind. Yeah, the Twilight movies. Without comment. Where the Wild Things Are. The Last of the Mohicans. One of these days, you guys, we're going to get the original theatrical cut of The Last of the Mohicans on Blu-ray. It really bothers me that they keep releasing these movies. Michael Mann is really terrible about this. He's like, no, this is the cut that I really wanted to release. Like, people bag on George Lucas, but nobody seems to be mad at Michael Mann or Ridley Scott, for that matter. Just all these versions of Blade Runner. I'm like, hey, man, just, you know, let's just pick one. Now we have the final cut. Faster with The Rock. Donnie Darko. Queen, Live at Wembley. These are two Bob Dylan documentaries. You guys know I'm a big Dylan head. This is a documentary from 1966 to 78. This is a documentary. Oh, this is the beginning. This is 41 to 1966, featuring no music by Bob Dylan, but they went to like his hometown and talked to his friends and people that toured with him and stuff like that. It's about as close as you're gonna get to the truth. Coffee, Friday Foster. Cotton Comes to Harlem and Hell Up in Harlem. Aerosmith, You Gotta Move. This is a bootleg. Queen Rock Montreal. Why is Queen... Hey, let's put this right here with the other Queen concerto. I Trust You to Kill Me. If you guys haven't seen this, this is a fantastic documentary. Kiefer Sutherland became like the... I want to say the producer, but I don't know that it was that simple. Anyway, he basically took this band under his wing. He became like their tour manager. He went on tour with them. And it's really interesting because I've always liked Kiefer Sutherland because he is unconventional, because he is kind of a bad boy, because he kind of does his own thing. And that speaks to me. No Direction Home. I have this on Blu-ray as well. It's the Scorsese doc. I have Bob Dylan Unplugged. I have Bob Dylan Don't Look Back on DVD. There's another Petra. Yeah, that Christian band we were talking about. This came free with one of their albums, I believe. Shaft trilogy. Now I have the Blu-rays for those, so that's redundant. Shaft, the Sam Jackson movie. I also have that on Blu-ray. In fact, I'm going to take these off of the shelves to make room for more movies that aren't redundant. Amityville and the remake with Ryan Reynolds. Beowulf and Grendel. This is a cool movie. This is like there's been many versions of the Beowulf story. This is Gerard Butler, Stellan Skarsgård, Sarah Polley. It's a good version. It's very creepy. And Grendel, that's Grendel in the movie. He's just like a big dude, and I liked it. I thought it was really cool. Drop Dead Gorgeous. This is Breeze. I don't think I've ever seen this movie. Maybe I have. Oh, maybe I have. Arrested Development Seasons 1 and 2. Schoolhouse Rock. Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny. We also have the Tenacious D, like the complete videos collection or something like that. The Last Samurai. Oh, wow, this is still sealed. I like this movie. I should crack this open and give it a shot. The War Wagon. John Wayne and Kirk Douglas. Moneyball. The Hills Have Eyes, the remake on DVD. Passenger 57, also still sealed. Promises. Jane Mansfield. This is one of those VCI Eclipse movies. Jane Mansfield, of course, was the bombshell, the 60s bombshell who met an unpleasant end. It's a very sad story. This is one of those just rarities, oddities from the, yeah. Oh, look, Bob Dylan, Don't Look Back. You want to hear something crazy? I didn't know I had this. So I'm going to put this next to the DVD. And then there. Wow. Ooh, that's embarrassing. That's more embarrassing than anything else I've showed. Is not knowing you have something. Because it's just been sitting there. Ooh. Let's see. Suicide Squad. The Lost World double feature. Now this is interesting. They made two movies. I believe these were for the Canadian market in the late 80s. It's the early 90s. No, it was the 90s. It was capitalizing on Jurassic Park. And they came out on video. At least in America, they came out on video. They have John Rhys Davies from, Sala, from, Asps, very deadly. You go first. Or very, very dangerous, whatever he says. Bad dates. Anyway, John Rhys Davies, Sala. Eric McCormick from Will and Grace and, like a bunch of other stuff. Who else is in this? David Warner. But they are based on Arthur Conan Doyle's Lost World book. But was there more than one? I don't know. And they're not good. They're not even, they're not good. But they're interesting as like big swings because they take the material relatively seriously. They don't have a budget for crap. And they kind of did something interesting on it. So the first time I saw these, like my dad brought home the VHS from, he worked in the grocery business for a long time, and he, like in the business side of it, like the buying aspect of it, corporate level. And he was friends with the guy that worked, the video guy, the media guy who would decide what media was going to be stocked in the stores. And so there was like a whole filing cabinet full of video cassettes that you would just, you could just go check out. Like if you worked in the corporate office, you just swing by and you sign your name and you check something out and you bring it back when you were done. And so he brought me the second one of these home because he knew I liked Jurassic Park and he thought I might like the movie. And I did. Gumby, the 60s Volume 1 and Gumby, the 60s Volume 2. Now I have the 50s collection around here somewhere. I don't know where it is. I've kind of become a Gumby mark in the last year or so. Super psychedelic. It's not subversive or anything like that. It's just really trippy and really rubber reality, literally. But I don't know, I really like it. And then it kind of culminates with the Gumby movie. This is the DVD Blu-ray combo pack. And it's just cool. Like, it's not like, subversive or anything like that. It's just fun to watch. It's fun to unwind to. Here's my copy of DOA and The Hitchhiker, two noir classics. The Happy Hooker trilogy, starring, see if I can find it, starring Adam West, Phil Silvers, Sergeant Bilko, Run Lola Run, The Outlaw Josie Wales. Song of the South. Now this is a documentary about the Allman Brothers. It's actually really good. It's next to the Led Zeppelin Celebration Day Blu-ray box set. We have John Adams, which is a cool HBO miniseries. Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. There's our Marlene Dietrich collection. Our Carol Lombard collection. Now here's 4. Is it 4? And this is 5. Hammer Films noir double features. Hammer made noir films in the 50s, in the early 60s. Because, of course, noir was very popular. They weren't calling them noir, but these are crime films from Hammer. Not horror, not adventure. Horror, not adventure, but crime films from Hammer. So this is Volume 1. Actually, are these numbered? Yeah, they are numbered. This is Volume 2. Volume 3. Volume 4, Dan Duran. And Volume 5. Psychotronica. I think there's another volume that showed up in like Volume 1 of this, the Volume 1 movie tour. Anyway, these are just cheesy, weird 60s movies. One of these, is it Dream No Evil? No, one of these is directed by Jack Hill, the man who directed Spider Baby and Pit Stop. It's Mondo Keyhole. That's it. This movie is directed by Jack Hill. The Raw Ones is just one of those nudie cutie movies from the 60s where they... is that okay? Yeah, we'll be alright. Don't tell anybody. But Jack Hill directed Mondo Keyhole. Let me just verify myself. Yeah, and it has a commentary by... Hold on. Special features Mondo Keyhole commentary by Jack Hill. So that's one of the reasons that I really wanted that, because Jack Hill is awesome. The Train Robbers, Castaway, fantastic movie. American Muscle Cars, the complete series, all 3 seasons as seen on TV. That's where a little bit of my southern roots come out with stuff like that. Rick Steves, all 80 shows as they existed at the time. This is Rick Steves' travel show. 9 years, 40 hours of travel on 13 DVDs. I have not watched any of this yet. This is The Westerner, the complete series. This just kind of quietly dropped from Shout Factory a couple of years ago. It was a 13-episode series. It was short-lived, but it was created by Sam Peckinpah. And that's reason enough to watch it. So I picked it up, and I will get to it. Village of the Damned, Hell or High Water, Westworld, the original Yul Brynner, Michael Crichton jam. Care Bears, 25th anniversary. That breeze into Care Bears. She collects, from her childhood, she collects Care Bears, so I'm happy to support that. Oh, speaking of the redneck roots, the Garth Brooks The Entertainer box set. Wayne's World 1 and 2. Hold on. Austin Powers, triple feature. Little Foss and Big Halsey. This is, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but it's got, it's Robert Redford and Michael J. Pollard, who was in that Star Trek episode, Miri, I think is the name of the Star. It's the one where they go to the town and like all the kids are running it. And anyway, the soundtrack for Little Foss and Big Halsey is by Johnny Cash. And that is all I needed to know. Over the Top is Stallone. This is my arm wrestling movie. I've been talking so long, my voice is going. I can't do the Stallone like I wish I could. Andrew First Blood. Andrew First Blood, not me. How do you live, John? Day by day. None of those are from Over the Top. None of those lines. Howard the Duck. Yes, I own Howard the Duck. Tropic Thunder. Still sealed. I've seen it. Rixie Business. Pet Cemetery, a movie that I do not love, and it's out on 4K now. I don't think it's very good, but there's just so many shots with the kid where it's very clearly just a doll, and the kid's also not scary to me. When he's supposed to be scary at the end of the movie, it's just kind of cute. Like, it's not scary at all. But the book, I have read the book. The book is good. Breakfast Club. Step into Liquid. I haven't watched this. This is a thrift store purchase about surfers. Mars Needs Women. Now, I have watched this. Tommy Kirk and Yvonne Craig. Yvonne Craig was Batgirl on the 1966 Batman series. Tommy Kirk was the Disney kid who was in so many Disney movies. Also, The Miniskirt Mob and Chrome and Hot Leather. These are two kind of exploitation movies from the early 70s. 68 for Miniskirt Mob and 71 for Chrome and Hot Leather. I actually have lobby cards from Chrome and Hot Leather. Yeah, I'm hardcore. Crew Fest, Volume 1. A Decade Under the Influence, fantastic documentary about 70s filmmaking. If you haven't seen it, you got to. Also, next to it, Easy Riders and Raging Bulls. Now, I've talked about this book. This is the documentary adaptation of the book, but again, about 70s filmmaking and what was so special about it. Pure Country, Honeysuckle Rose, Willie. Down the Tracks, the music that influenced Led Zeppelin. This is actually really cool. It's about the blues, basically. It's about Mississippi blues. Down the Tracks, the music that influenced Bob Dylan. And that's, of course, about folk and old school country. Oh, snap, you guys. Tender Mercies. We were just talking about that earlier in this video. This is basically Crazy Heart, like 25 years before Crazy Heart existed. It's about a Academy Award winner Robert Duvall headlines this touching story of a down-and-out country singer named Mac and the young widow he meets in a small Texas town. But as their relationship blossoms, Mac's years of hard living resurface when his music star ex-wife appears, bringing him his estranged daughter with her. Very similar, right? This is cool. This is Black Belt Jones, Black Samson, Hot Potato, Three the Hard Way. Really cool Jim Kelly and other blaxploitation movies. Elvis Has Left the Building. It's one of the many Elvis movies that I own because I love Elvis. Serpico, the DVD. You know what? I've replaced this on Blu-ray, so I'm going to take that off the shelf. Street Kings. It's a cool Keanu movie. Hold on. I got to reposition here. My lower extremities have gone to sleep. Trilogy of Terror. Now, this is on Blu-ray as well, but I don't think that I like it enough to rebuy it. I'm happy with the DVD. I rarely watch it. Bjork. Bree is a huge fan of Bjork. Butterfly. I think we've hit a little Bree section here. A Bit of Fry and Laurie, Season 1. I wish I had more of these. Fry and Laurie, of course. It's a shame neither one of these guys went on to have any success after Fry and Laurie. That's a joke. Frailty. Fantastic movie. Oh, I forgot I had this. Teen Wolf and Teen Wolf 2. So they have the DVD version of Teen Wolf 2. I completely forgot I own this. Teen Wolf 2 is horrible. It's a nice novelty to see Jason Bateman, but it's horrible. Red Sonja. Oh, I have this on DVD as well. I'm sorry, on Blu-ray as well. Well, I'm not trying to hide it. I imported this on Blu-ray. That's a cool cover, though. It's a really cool. The Blu-ray does not look like that. Love this movie, though. The House of Yes. Girl Interrupted. Discovering England. Europe to the Max. We're big into travel. We are into travel. We haven't traveled as much in the last few years, but there was a period when we were traveling like several times a year internationally, and those were good days. Hope to get back to that someday. The Economy, all that stuff. It's just not great. National Treasure. Suck. Oh, this is a cool movie. Let's talk about Suck. This is a movie not a lot of people have heard of. It's a comedy. It's kind of a musical comedy. I think it's Canadian. It's very funny. It's kind of dark, and it's got Alice Cooper in it. So I don't feel like they're utilizing that it has Alice Cooper enough in it. But it's about a band that sucks, and then they get attacked by vampires, and then they become really good. And it's, but they still have band problems. They're still like, you don't understand what we're going for, man. You don't understand the work it takes. So it's kind of like, and I like this. The singer becomes like super sexy. And just it's funny, but it is a comedy, and I like it. I have the Twilight Time version of The Blob. This is the Chuck Russell remake of The Blob. And I believe this was out of print for a while. Now I think someone else has picked it up. Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. I'm a huge Sweeney Todd fan. This is one of the earlier film versions of Sweeney Todd. I don't remember off the top of my... Oh, it's 1936. And then Crimes at the Dark House, which is from 1940. But love Sweeney Todd. It's been around for a long, long time, that story. Dark Wolf, The Howling, and Perfect Creature. This is a triple pack of werewolf movies. Batman vs. Robin. Gotham City serials. Now these are cool. We've talked about this in the Batman commentary that we did. This is the original serials, the 1943 and the 1949 serial from Mill Creek. Big Fish, and I believe this is on Blu-ray somewhere around here as well. Great Tim Burton movie. Earnest, sincere Tim Burton, and I really like that kind of Tim Burton. The sets, Big Fish was filmed near me, about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half from me, and the sets are still there. And there are some YouTubers who have gone to film there. I may need to do that. That, you know, it's in our backyard. We might as well, right? Some Power Rangers stuff. I've tried to get, basically this is Heath's attempt to get into Power Rangers, and I just can't. I'm too old for it. I was too old when it came along, and it's never going to hit me like it hit some younger people. George Harrison, this is the Scorsese documentary. This is what I'm talking about. Scorsese is capable of such heartwarming, uplifting storytelling. And I wish he did more of it. I wish that he would do more really human stories that make me feel better about things instead of worse about things. But, you know, I understand that's a minority opinion. That's fine. Starcom, U.S. Space Force, the complete series. Teen Wolf. Oh, you guys, I do have the Teen Wolf animated series. This is from Australia. It is region locked, so you do have to be region free to play this. It's DVD. Shout Factory was going to release it. I think it was Shout Factory was going to release this, and then Rights held it up at the last minute, and it did not come out. Now, again, if you're watching this in 2026, maybe this is out on DVD, but as I'm recording this video, this is the only DVD in the world of Teen Wolf. Mr. Bean, The Whole Bean, The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr., Mad Max Fury Road, Road Warrior. Where's Thunderdome? There's Mad Max. The Thunderdome's around here somewhere. God, Heath, you gotta get it together, man. Get it together. Pretty in Pink, my DVD copy of Easy Rider. I've never watched this. I bought it because it's Alan Rickman. I did not pay $13.99 for it. I would not have paid $14 on a blind buy. But it's an old Image DVD of an Alan Rickman movie about Mesmer. He's basically the psychologist, the psychiatrist that we coined the term mesmerized. That's from this guy, this cat right here. Not Alan Rickman, but the character he plays. Britain. Escape, the capital cities of the world, London and Madrid. Quigley Down Under. That was all right. Night of the Living Dead. This is my old DVD copy. I since have a Blu-ray copy, thanks to Ross, friend of the channel. This was like the best DVD copy you could get. It was THX certified, you guys. This is a public domain movie. It's never looked great before the Criterion Collection, but this one was the best you could get because it is THX. Dawn of the Dead, Dukes of Hazzard double feature. This is these movies. I like Dukes of Hazzard quite a bit. I grew up watching Dukes of Hazzard. It's controversial now because of the Confederate flag, but none of the values in the show represented any sort of offensive, behavior or anything like that. And these movies are, I don't know. I don't know that I've reconciled these movies yet. But this is the first movie and the direct-to-video sequel. Still Sealed, Honky Tonk Man, Pink Cadillac, and City Heat. Volume 1 of Pee-wee's Playhouse. Now, I need to get these on Blu-ray. Here's our Happy Days collection. We have Happy Days, the complete first season. And here we go, the third and the fourth. That means that the second one is around here somewhere. Let's get into some Stones. Some Girls, live in Texas, 1978. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rolling Stones. This is another great concert. What year is this from? 1972. The Biggest Bang box set. Four Flicks box set. Scooby-Doo and Kiss, the Rock and Roll Mystery. This is the Kiss section because we have the Kissologies 1, 2, and then 3. And then the Kiss Scooby-Doo movie. All right, home run, or the home run, the home, what's the word? The home stretch? The home plate? The home fries? My hand is super asleep. Just look at him. Just look at him and I'll come back in about 5 minutes. The History of Rock and Roll. This is amazing. This is a box set on the history. You guys know I love my music. This is a box set of the History of Rock and Roll. Did I show the cover adequately? Multi-DVD set. How long is this? 578 minutes. And it is indeed the History of Rock and Roll with a ton of rock musicians that are, giving their thoughts about it. Running Scared. This is a crazy movie. If you guys have never seen it, rest in peace, Paul Walker. Oh, here's the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, which I don't really care for. Creature Comforts, seasons 1 and 2. There's season 1. There's the second season. This is from the creators of Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit. What's that cat's name? Nick Park. And these have a choice. I believe these have a choice of the original. I could be wrong. I was going to say you can choose the original English. Like sometimes these things got sent to America and they would do like American actors to redo the voices. But I think Creature Comforts, these are just UK people on the street. That's what it was. They would just talk to people in interviews and animate it. Yeah. Rapid Fire. Well, I'm just like, there's the floor. There's our carpet. Brandon Lee, Rapid Fire. Led Zeppelin, the song remains the same. Rattle and Hum. I don't know why I have this. There's our Mill Creek Horror. We have Horror Classics. We have Pure Terror. And then Martial Arts. So many of these have movies that are replicated on those big 200 movie sets. I've got all four of the 200 movie sets. And most of these are replicated. But what's interesting is that there are movies on each one of these sets that aren't in the 200 packs. That's how they get you. That's kind of how it goes across the board. They'll release something like a 12 pack and they'll be like 2 movies you can only get in that set. Disney Parks. This is a documentary about all of these subjects. And they're good too. They're in-depth. Pre-Disney. What in the world am I saying? Pre-Iger. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it's not the Disney that we think of now. Actually, he might have been CEO at the time, but it doesn't. It feels like Eisner era, but I don't think it was. I'm gonna stop talking because I'm not sure. Rocky and Bullwinkle Volume 1, Elvis, the number one hit performances, and more. Volume 2 and Volume 1. These are basically videos, TV appearances, some clips from his movies. I love Elvis. U2 in 2005, the Vertigo tour. Crybaby, Johnny Depp. Still sealed. Henry VIII with Ray Winston and Helena Bonham Carter. Interesting. Who else have we got here? Whoa, is that Kate Winslet? What in the world? Kate Winslet played one of the wives? She's not even on the back. Oh, wow. Wow. Sherlock Holmes, this is the BBC Peter Cushing Sherlock Holmes collection. This is unique. I don't think these have been collected anywhere else, but these are trying to find a year, 1968. So those are very cool. I love me some Peter Cushing. This is a DVD about the Lewis Chessmen that I actually purchased at the British Museum. Boy, that was a fun day going to the British Museum. That place is amazing. Mummies, like real mummies, and like stonework from Babylon. Just incredible stuff. But I've always been fascinated by the Lewis Chessmen. They are well, here, I'll let you read the back. It just says that they inspired the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone game that the kids play. Carved over 800 years ago from walrus ivory. My hand is shaking from holding this camera. I'm going to switch hands. Okay. They've been described as the greatest chessmen of Europe, of the European Middle Ages. Basically, they tell the story of medieval history through their carving. Like they're an archive of their time. They give us a peek at medieval history. I'm a huge medieval history fan, particularly English medieval history, the Norman invasion of 1066, the Magna Carta, all that stuff. That's really interesting to me. Mind meld, conversation between Shatner and Nimoy. The Cowboy Way. Now this is still sealed, but I have watched The Cowboy Way. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. I really like this movie. Kiefer Sutherland, Woody Harrelson, Rhinestone. Hey, Daddy, I like that hair. You got that good. You got that big hair. Yep. Okay. Young Sherlock Holmes, Ivanhoe. Let's see if we know who anybody in this is. Christopher Lee is in this. Sonny Chiba 10 movies collection. Now there are still movies in this 10 pack that I don't have anywhere else. I've bought a bunch of Sonny Chiba over the years, but there's still some stuff that I think is only in this super old collection. Say Anything, I believe this I have replaced on Blu-ray as well. Batman, the 1966 movie. Mortal Kombat. 16 Candles. Bone Tomahawk, a brutal Western that veers into horror later. I mean, it is brutal, you guys, but it's fantastic. Kurt Russell. Breaker, Chuck Norris. The Last Starfighter. Night of the Comet, the 80s sci-fi horror maybe movie. Ninja, Scott Adkins. Man of Steel, nothing to say about those. Looney Tunes Platinum Collection. This is the only one that I have. There's 3, I think. I only have the first one. These are the Looney Tunes collections on Blu-ray. We do... I'm so sorry. We do have the 6-volume DVD set. The Platinum Collection was basically the HD versions with some stuff that we hadn't seen before. So I do need to get the other 2 volumes at some point. Justice League, Gods and Monsters. The Flash, the complete first season. It really should be next to Gotham and Arrow and Supergirl and all that stuff. RoboCop Trilogy Collection. Machete. Now, why is Machete not with Machete 2 or Machete Kills? So much work to be done. Hog River Run, Hog Heaven. It's a motorcycle. I think it's about Sturgis. I've watched it a long time ago. Truck Stop Women. Great movie starring Claudia Jennings. It would make a good double feature with White Line Fever, about these girls that it's basically a truck stop scam movie from the 70s. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures of the Complete. Oh, it's not the complete. It's the best of. It's the only way you can get these cartoons on DVD. There was a 90s cartoon of Bill and Ted. Warcraft, Crossroads. I don't remember which year this is. 2013. This is Crossroads 2013, which is a gathering of blues musicians. Two Lane Blacktop, the Criterion Collection version. It's a fantastic movie with James Taylor and Dennis Wilson from the Beach Boys. Basically just an existential trip across America with Warren Oates in pursuits. Beach Boys live in concert, their 50th anniversary concert, and then also next to Doing It Again, which is kind of just, it's not a concert. This is the Beach Boys 50 Doing It Again. It's kind of just a documentary about them getting back together again. Chips, a movie that I still am not... I love Dax Shepard. I really like Michael Pena as well. But this really isn't Chips. This should have just been called like Funny Motorcycle Guys, and I would have liked it a whole lot more. It has no relation whatsoever to the movie Chips. I'm sorry, to the TV show Chips. Which is worth mentioning. It's worth talking about. Like, why use the name Chips if that's not what it is? They just want us to cash in and remember Chips. The Untouchables, great movie. Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. Now, this is one of those Avengers collections that was sent to the channel by Lee. I'm super grateful for it. I found these Emma Peel episode box sets at a thrift store. The Blue Underground. Am I even showing you guys? I'm kind of contorting myself to get this last little bit here. We're almost done. That's the end of the shelf. This is Man, Pride, and Vengeance, starring Franco Nero. This is a spaghetti western. I'm trying to remember who directed this. Bazzoni, Luigi Bazzoni. That's why I don't remember. I do not remember Luigi Bazzoni as being one of the notable filmmakers. Honeymoon in Vegas, Bad Teacher. Are you ready for the summer? Meatballs, Bill Murray. Get Shorty. Be Cool's around here somewhere too. Wes Craven's The People Under the Stairs. Oh, here's Happy Days, the second season. Good Lord, Heath. Get it together. Film noir. 10 movie. I'm sorry. I understand I've been told I say noir wrong. Film noir. But I'm actually just going to lean into it and just start calling it film noir. Film noir. Well, these are 10 film noir films from some of the finest examples of the genre. This Guns for Hire and The Glass Key. Double Indemnity. One of them fantastic noir movies. In all seriousness, Double Indemnity. I think there was a Blu-ray around here in the collection somewhere of Double Indemnity. A Touch of Evil. That's the one with Charlton Heston as a Mexican, I believe. The Orson Welles movie. Criss Cross, The Killers. Listen, you guys, this is... I got this for a song. I think this was like $20 or something like that. It's 10 noir films. 10 noir films. 10 noir films. You buy the 10 noir films on one pack. It's good. I recommend it. That's what I'm saying. Don't know what that is. It's probably... There are some homemade things around here that I don't know what's in there, so I'm going to leave them secret for now. The Laugh Out Loud 6-movie collection. This is... I bought this for Joe Dirt at the time, and I've since replaced Joe Dirt on Blu-ray. I also like The House Bunny because I like Anna Faris, but I haven't watched it in a long time. I don't know how it holds up. Journey, The Greatest Hits. This is music videos and live performances. I like Journey. I mean, they're okay. I got this from a thrift store. Includes the Incredible Hulk DVD and this is the digital comic book CD, which is probably useless. Like, will we even be able to play digital CD PDF files soon? I don't know. Phantom on DVD. I wish I had this on Blu-ray, but I don't, so I'm happy that I have the DVD. The Wind and the Lion, again with Sean Connery. And then last, a guy thing, because as maybe you know, I think I've talked about it before, if Jason Lee is in something, I'm gonna watch it. It's not even a choice. I'm just gonna watch it. And it also has Selma Blair and Julia Stiles in it. And those are both people that I enjoy watching. Both of those ladies I enjoy watching. So that, here we're on the floor. I'm gonna pan up. This is what all we've just seen. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out for the Movie Collection Volume 2. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a Patreon supporter. Hopefully you enjoy these. Weigh in. Let's have some conversation about this stuff. So take care, guys. I appreciate it. Bye.